are off. Today is day 220 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at CODEWARS. We have a CADA in mind. We just need to find it. Something to do with binary. Yeah, it's going to be a brutal one today. Okay, so most completed. Level 7. And fundamentals. Yeah. I wonder why the numbers changed so much. See, fundamentals, okay, there we go. 853. That seemed normal. I couldn't figure out why it was down to just 66. So, Tiny Cat, how are you doing? Dee 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 bye da 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 do do dee 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 dee. No, thank you. Look at you, covered in fur. Did you know today is I believe, supposedly, it's International Cat Day. Yeah, it is a big day for your people. Well, technically your species. So, look at that. Who's got a kitty tummy? You do. Yeah. Since it's International Cat Day and we're not rushed for time, at least as of now we're not rushed for time. Wow, and you're still just as awful as ever. Okay, oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing? No. None of those are the right things to be doing at this time. Set that there. Your fur. It's okay. We've had worse entrances. Now, we were on the hunt. There we go. Binary addition. We skipped it to tackle the smallest integer in the array because one of the previous days, well, we were covering the same, nearly the same topic, both here at CODEWARS and for CODECamp. So we did decide to skip that for the time being, but we are back to conquer it. Tiny Cat, you have a whole bed to nap on. Look at this. See this thing? We didn't actually buy it for you, but you get the most use out of it during the day. Oh, look at that. So interesting. Binary addition. Yeah, it's gonna get weird. So, something involving base 2. We're gonna have to take base 10, I assume, and convert it to base 2 or something like that. I don't know how to actually implement that, but that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Hey, look at that. You're just dying for scratches, aren't you? Oh my god. You're so cute. It is pretty cool that it's International Cat Day. Well, supposedly. On the internets, it is International Cat Day. In the real world, it's just, Jesus, what is it? Just a Tuesday. You know? Not a whole lot going on. Alright, but seriously though, no, you're not just gonna lie directly vertical down the middle of the keyboard. You can't just sleep like that. Yeah, we're gonna turn you, and you're not gonna put your feet on the computer or your paws. Just turn. There. Assume the napping position. Oh my god. I will agree to put my hand on / near your face. Is that okay? Is that cool? That's as much attention, that's as much focus as you will get from me. You can have my attention, just a tiny percentage of it. What are we checking? Ah, yes. Mic, audio, camera stuff. That's as good as life's ever gonna get. Webcam, little kitty. which you were moving things. There we go, just ever so slightly, I think. Who knows? Okay, binary hell. Let's do this. Go time. Brace yourselves, children. It's about to get confusing. Implement a function that adds two numbers together and returns their sum in binary. The conversion can be done before or after the addition. The binary number returned should be a string. Hey, princess, go do something over here. Thank you. All right, well, let's do. I think will be splitting the array. No. Adding the numbers. Tough call. Also, why isn't it loading? That's another great question. There's a lack of refreshing going on. There we go. Implement a function that adds two numbers together, returns their sum in binary, and I think that's basically what we're going to do. Say basically because, again, the conversion can be done before or after. So we could take our two numbers, convert them both to binary, and then shimmy them together, and we'd have our binary result. Or we just add the two numbers together, return the string, and convert that to binary. I think that's the route I want to go down. Just because. So, what do they have in their test stuff? Test.describe. Add binary 1 and 2 function. Variable results 1 equals add binary 1, 2. I kind of feel like they're giving away some of the stuff. Test it. Should return something that isn't falsy. Okay, noted. Function test expect, result 1, something is wrong, no result. Test it, should return 11. The deuce, should it turn... okay, because binary, it goes from right to left. What is it? Not right to left. Well, technically, yeah, right to left, like a normal number. If it were... we'll set up our nonsense section. We're gonna need one. Good enough. Nonsense. Wow, what are the chances we got the right number of asterisks first try without typing anything on the second line? I swear to God, little cat, I can hear you rifling through something. Honest to God, I don't know where you are, but I know you're in here. Alright, well, she sounded like she was in here. Oh. We're going insane. This is not good. This is why we don't stream this early in that we are 12 hours ahead of time. It's noon. 12:53 in the afternoon. Well, now post, 53 minutes post. I hear you again. Tiny cat, are you eating plastic? She's just somewhere off in the ether. Up, see where my hand is in this general vicinity. There's a cat. Should I... Hey. You know what? Screw it. She can eat it. It's an Amazon box. She's digging through the what is it? Postage? Packaging. That's the word we're looking for. Wow, we're just doing anything to avoid the binary fiasco. What were we talking about? So, base 10 would be, let's say we were doing getting change. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah, we'll do that. So, we've got some change, and we're going up and stuff. So, 9,876,543.21 cents, or 0.21. Doesn't have to be dollars, could just be a fun number with a decimal. Regardless, this would be the ones place, 3, then the tens, then the hundreds, and so forth, keeps progressing by factor of 10, and so forth. Versus binary, what would be good? We'll do a 1. That works out pretty well. Does it? I think so. So we've got the 1, well, because it's either 0 or 1, and it's base 2. So if there is a 1 in this is the, how does it work? It's the 1's place, then the 2's place, I think, and then the 4th's, and then the 8th's place, and then the 16th's, and the 32nds, and all that weirdness, and the 64ths, and all that, and the 128ths, and so on, and such. Now, I think it's 11. I forget how it progresses via the decimal side, but I don't think we should have to worry about that too much. So, it's 11 for 1 and 2, because that would be 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3, but in binary, 11 would be the 1's place, and then in the 2's place, if there's a 1, that actually holds the value of 2, and 1. Ergo 3, if I'm not mistaken. So, first off, I wonder if there's a handy conversion method. You know, how there's math.min and math.max. Is there a math.binary? We should probably check that out. Regardless, we will be taking variable. Huh. Good times. Good times. What am I looking for? Variable stuff and such. So, variable, why is it so, a little cat, you put caps lock on, you son of a, that's why nonsense is in all caps, and that's why, okay, good to know, it was her. So, variable total, no, sum, oh, sum's probably a keyword. We'll call it total. Total would be A plus B. Ta-da! From there, though, hopefully there is some awesome math method. We can do, like, in a perfect world, I'd love to do math.binary. I don't think this is a thing, and just have total go in there. How cool would that be? That's what I'm hoping for. That's the future I dream about. But let's figure out what we can do to actually implement. Should we look immediately for converting base 10 to binary, or should we do, like, convert base 10 to hexadecimal? And then I'm sure the skills are transferable and apply from there. Maybe we should just go directly to the source. JavaScript, convert base 10 to base 2. Oh, and to base 16. We could have done that. How do you convert? Blankety blank to string. Oh, and that's right, they want it to be a string as well. Okay. How do I convert hexadecimal 8F to decimal? To convert a number from a hex string, parse int string radix. A number from 2 to 36 that represents the numeral system to be used. I'm not sure I follow, little cat. What the deuce are you touching? Can we see her tinkering with crap in the back? No, the mic is blocking. That's fine. She's back. I can't move my arm in that direction. Somewhere back there, making noise. Yeah, that's her head. That's little kitty. I thought curiosity was supposed to kill the cat. You know? But the flip side to that is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. She's infinitely curious. Doesn't die. So she's just perpetually getting stronger, and this is why she's the destroyer of worlds. See that? How it builds on itself? Look at her. I moved to OBS, now I'm watching her on my screen climb over the speakers. Typical. Now, what are we doing? Those speakers are like the ultimate kitty tower play thing. She jumps from the bed to the speakers, and from the speakers to the bed, and back and forth, and yeah. Did not see that coming when I got those. But clearly she loves them. Now, what am I doing? Again, procrastinating. Bad, Steven. So, something about parse int. We've got string and radix. Radix? Something like that. String required. The string to be parsed. Radix. Optional. A number from 2 to 36 that represents the numeral system to be used. Oh! So I put in the string of whatever the hell I want that number to be. Or whatever number, you know what I mean. We put in the number, and then we tell it what base we want it to be processed as. To convert a number to a hex string, number object, .toString, radix optional, specify the base you would like the number displayed as. Example, value 2's number will be shown as binary value 8. The number will show as an octal value 16. The number will show as a hexadecimal. Hey, no, you can't just stop right here. That is perfectly in line with the keyboard and the screen. Do you understand I can't? No. Do you understand that I can't see the screen when you do that? Example usage. Integer value to hex. Can I set you down now, please? Little kitty, I love you so much, but just... It's binary, you know? And it's awful. It's covered in tear... No. Brace yourselves. We're gonna get tail whip to the face. I know it. Tail whip doesn't do anything in Pokemon games, but it does a whole hell of a lot when you catch a mouthful of fur in real life. Do you have... Okay, that's fine. You know what? Have it your way. Just do that. You can hang out on the desk if you keep to yourself. Oh my god, so stressful. Is there any study in the medical field on... I know dogs are supposed to relieve stress. But do cats... I mean, like, for people with medical issues, cardio stuff, I know dogs can be a good thing. PTSD, other stuff, right, for lowering the stress, calming the stress. Do cats have that ability? Is there any medical benefit to having a cat? Because I just feel like all they do is cause stress. Cute as all can be, but it's just rather nightmarish. I feel like cat ownership and cigarette usage would be one of those things on Reddit, you know, the data is beautiful, where they would just go perfectly together as far as like a stress curve goes. I don't know what they would be gauging to compare those two off of, but it's got to go hand in hand. Okay, what am I doing? That binary, all three of those. The more cats you have, or the more time around cats, and the more you use binary, and just overlay that with increased, I guess, yearly cigarette usage, all three of those have to be along the same slope. There's no way they couldn't be. Example usage. Integer value 2 hex. I equals 10. Cool. 10. I2 string 16. And I get an A. Oh, because it's okay, hexadecimal, right. Hex string to integer value. H equals A as a string. So it's already a string. So parse integer. It's taking H up here, which is the letter A, and it's turning it into 16 and... or a hex, I guess, if you will. Integer value to hex. Hex string to integer value. So we're going from hex back to integer. Okay. And then integer value to decimal. D 16. D 2 string 16. All right. So I'm receiving integers. They want to have us return a decimal, but in base 2, right? Yeah. So math not, you know what, is math.binary a thing? JavaScript, you know, it's probably not just limited to JavaScript. Math.binary? There's no need to do that. It's for sure either parse int or to string and the base stuff. How can I convert? Blankety blank. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. All of that. That's a whole... The other we were looking at was way more effective in breaking it down. Bitwise. A and B returns a 1 in each bit position. 32-bit integers. That sounds like hell. Number -1 is an integer composed of blah and other things and a bunch of other fascinating stuff. Shocking. Shocking. Convert binary string to digit E.G. I'm not actually familiar. Binary. Oh, okay, hold on. So 0 for the 2, 0 for 4, 0 for 8, 1 for 16. So we have 16. 0 for 32, 1 for 64, and 1 for 128. We've got, don't mind me, 128 plus 16 Or no, 128 plus 64 plus 16. That's not right. 128 plus 64 plus 16 equals 208. Did I do that right? No. I totally missed a turn. Code for 104. Why did I get that so very wrong? Oh, it's probably 246. No, not 246. 2. So it doesn't start with 1? Binary. See, it does start with the ones place. How many zeros were there? I must have miscounted the zeros in the beginning. 3 zeros and a 1. 3 zeros. Oh, it was 8. Bad Steven. And a 1. Okay. Oh, God. Fuzzy. Cat fur on the tongue. So it should have been 64 plus 32 plus 8. 64 plus 32 plus 8. That makes, yeah, that's 104. All better. All better. So what exactly are we doing? This is a beautiful answer, or a clean way to break things down. So they want us to implement a function that takes 2 numbers, integers, not numbers within a string, just good old-fashioned integers. It would be a decimal if it was in a string, but integer. So it's taking this. We're taking an integer I to string I don't think we can do total to string 2. We can try it, but I don't think it's going to work. Return total to string 2. It might work. No, it doesn't want to run the sample test. Did we piss them off? We could have pissed them off. Total to string. Why doesn't it like that? Copy. Let's close out of all of this noise. Clearing out the noise, clearing out the noise. Clearing out the noise, hey. Variable. Return. Ta-da! Beep-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. How cool is that? That was nowhere near as difficult as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be so much worse. Although, let's submit the final attempt. Oh my god, it worked. That's so cool. I thought it was going to be a nightmare. I thought this was going to be like a 9-hour stream of me trying to piece together, breaking down the table, setting it up. I thought I was going to have to get the sum and then, like, turn it into an array or, God, just, yeah, no. I envisioned something awful. Like, truly horrific. Let's submit this as our final. And let's see what the cool kids had to suggest for their answer. I think that's so interesting. What happened here? You've unlocked a new privilege, 100 plus honor. You now have the ability to weigh in on the ranking of Beta Kata. Very cool. Now, return A plus B 2 strings. They just did it as a nice little package. Regardless, they used 2 string too. Return blank blank to 0 string constant. Add binary AB lambda A plus B 2 string. A lot going on there. Return this noise and that. No. Aha. Well, this is ours with an extra step. Added A plus B, then binary equals added to string base 2, and then return binary. Thought about doing the second variable, decided it wasn't needed. Good times. Alright, so we're definitely in, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have stuff from the first one. 2 string. All of them use 2 string. That one had a single variable. Fifth, we'll call it, I was going to say 2.5, but we'll call it 3.5. We can round up to 4th if needed. I think 3.5 is fair. Awesome. Well, how cool is that? We figured out how to convert it to binary. Good times. Way cool. So let's see. Look at this. It moves us to level 6. How cool is that? Let's look at our profile. Hey, Matt Gaming. How are you doing? Hopefully your Tuesday is going well. Well done. You've ranked up to 6 Caillou in JavaScript. Look at that. So now, where do we stand? 69,554th place. Honor percentile, 80th. So, before we go digging through 6, what did we do? I don't know if we're going to dive into this Kata now. 6, good time. Should we share that? I guess so. Share. Why not? Let's see what happens. Now 6 Caillou, Yellow Belt, Code Wars. Come join me. Code Warriors. Yeah, why not? Get in on that, right? Yeah. Space. Dang. E coding and one more, just for good measure. Ta-da! B-diddy-dee-dee-dee. Way cool. Alright. Fire away. Golden. Successfully tweeted. What's happening? Toxic personal control you. They all try to control others. See misinformation, something unfair. Stay above. Sure. Try to see that. Good, yeah, and something about meat. Also, don't forget International Cat Day. That is our top priority. Alright, closing that. Where do we stand? What were we going to look at? We did something in level 8. Fundamentals. When we completed level 8 and we're moving on to level 7, we decided to take on, what was it? The hardest challenge they had. I think I want to do the same thing for level 7. I just don't know if I want to tackle that particular Kata now. Fundamentals, and was it most completed, hardest, easiest? Positive feedback. I think it was hardest. Get the lost string back. I'm assuming people have voted differently since then. 350, 85%. Circular objects. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure at the time that was the most difficult one, because I see no other check marks under 8, and I can't figure out for the life of me why I would have jumped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. Yeah. I don't think I would have just fallen down the ladder that far. So now, to the same degree, level 7, let's see what the hardest is. Simple Fun, number 252. Now, usually, as a side note, I don't think it counts for 8. Or the rest of them in a series. Circular Objects, number 1. I could see us skipping that one because, although, number 1, that's the beginning of a series. Anyways, Simple Fun, number 252. There are 252 from that series that we haven't done, so I kind of feel like we should hold off on that. Although, hardest is a slightly different focus. I could justify us trying to tackle that one, but I think Mythical Heads and Tails would be good. 3 and 4 are also part of the Simple Fun series. Factory Functions, number 2, also series-based. Simple Fun, series-based. And some circles. 507 have completed, 98% of 30 versus 268 have completed that. And 95% of 29, 16 bookmarked versus 14 bookmarked. 2 issues reported, no issues reported. My guess is we would end up doing Mythical Heads and Tails, but gosh, should we do that now? We'll look at it now. We will probably do a challenge over at CODEWARS, and we may just call it a day. You're in ancient Greece, and giving the lost. I'm not good with Greek name. Phil, we're gonna call him Phil. Phila something. Philatides, I think. A hand in preparing a training exercise for Hercules. The what is he? Not a centaur. The dude. Kind of like half goat looking dude, right? You know what? Perfect time to Google the crap out of something. That's what Google is here for. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Yeah, that guy. The Disney movie version. Do they have a phonetic breakdown for this dude's name? Phyllis something or other. Yeah, well, we're good. We're good. Anyway, so, Goat Dude. Hopefully that's not disrespectful to anyone in his lineage, but it's the most straightforward answer we can provide for now. You filled a pit with two different ferocious mythical creatures for Hercules to battle. Orthus and Hydra. Oh, no Hydra photo. Back to Google. Huzzah! I wonder if it's going to bring up the Avengers Hydra. Somewhat similar. Kind of surprised. Alright. This is the one where you cut its heads off, right? And it keeps coming back. I think. We should probably brush up on our Greek mythology, just as a general rule of thumb. The formidable Orthus is a two-headed dog with one tail, and the mighty Hydra has 5 heads and one tail. Before Hercules goes in, he asks you, how many of each beast am I up against? You know the total number of heads, the total number of tails. That's the dangerous parts, right? But you didn't consider how many of each beast. Given the number of heads and the number of tails, work out the number of mythical beasts. The data is given as 2 parameters. Your answer should be returned as in an array. Valid 2415. Orthus, Hydra, invalid, no solution. If there aren't any cases for the given amount of heads and tails, return no solutions, or null for C#. I feel like we're counting off of the tails, because that determines how many there actually are. It doesn't matter if there's 48 dog heads. There would only be 24 tails, ergo there would be 24 of them. Same thing with Hydra. There could be 25 heads, but that means there'd only be 5 tails, and that means there'd only be 5 Hydras in the room. So it'd be summing up the tails. That's what we're looking for. Should we do this now? No. We'll do it later. We will tackle some stuff at freeCodeCamp. Should we do the mythical coin toss now? We'll peek at it. We'll open it up. We'll have it on the books. Beasts, blah blah. See, they're dividing it in half and stuff. Do they have a weird number of heads? 39. Hydra's on the right. How'd they get 39 heads? Or are they talking about beasts? Or tails? I'm not sure. That's not exactly clear. There's a lot of room for error there. We're going to save that for another day. We made it through the binary fiasco. That counts as a win. We made it to level 6. We'll do the hardest challenge another day. Probably tomorrow. We'll close out of that for now. Success at CODEWARS. Onwards to doing at least, hopefully, one challenge here at freeCodeCamp. Just to say, we did mutations. That's where we are continuing on today here at freeCodeCamp. Alright. Hey, Sultanis. How are you doing? We had Matt Gaming in here earlier. Although, again, it's hard to tell. Hey, Matt Gaming, I'm back. See, I was going to say, there's no easy way to gauge viewers in the room with just our phone. I mean, I think it's possible, but I haven't been invested enough into figuring out how to do it quickly and easily. What are we looking at? Mutations. Return true if the string in the first element of the array, contains all the letters of the string in the second element of the array. This seems very similar to, what did we do? Was it repeat a string? Truncate a string. Chunky monkey. You know what it was? It was confirming the end. This seems very similar to confirming the end, but instead of only confirming a portion of the string, it seems like we are comparing the entire string to the entire string. Let's go ahead and open confirming the end just for good measure. So what are we looking at? Return true if the string in the first element of the array contains all the letters of the string in the second element of the array. For example, hello and hello should return true because all the letters in the second string are present in the first string, ignoring case. The arguments hello and hey should return false because the string hello does not contain a y. Lastly, alien and line should return true because all the letters in line are present in alien. Wow, clever. Okay, I see what's going on here. Remember to use read, search, ask. If you get stuck, write your own code. Here's some helpful links. Index of. Is that kind of like property of or has own property of? Let's find out. Okay. So, index of. What do we have? Wow. Little kitty, did you see that? Yawn came out of nowhere. Also, you are laying on the keyboard again, tiny cat. The index of method returns the index with the calling string object of the first occurrence of the specified value. Starting the search from index returns -1 if the value is not found. Array.prototype.index of search value from index. A string representing the value to search for. And so wait, a string representing the value to search for. So we're searching for the first parameter from index, an integer representing the index in which to start the search. The default value is 0 from index less than or equal to 0. Entire string will be searched for from index greater than or equal to string length. The string is not searched and -1 is returned. If the search value is empty, the behavior is as follows. From index less than or greater to, from index less than the string length, from index is returned. If from index is greater than, okay, all of these are just awful. Let's look at the examples, shall we? What's going down, Mac Gaming? Use 2 for loops. One that uses the first array index, and the second one searches through them. I don't think you need index of. Watch out, little cat. Look at you. Look at you, covered in fur. You know what? We have seen index of before. There was the blue whale fiasco. And we weren't exactly sure what was going on. However, now it makes more sense. Return the value, first occurrence, so forth, and such and such. So, just in general, before we commit to doing 2 for loops, characters in a string are indexed from right to left. The index of the first character is 0, of course, and the index of the last character of a string is called string name.length. Nothing weird about that. Index of method is case sensitive. For example, the following expression returns blankety blank. So they're looking for blue, and it's starting its search at 0. It returns 5 characters that it found that match, I assume. No, they're looking for whale, starting from 0, and it found 5 characters. That makes sense. I'm hopeful I'll be able to just do the single index of instead of 2 for loops. Sultanas, well, index of would be in place of one of the for loops. So A will go through line. Oh, wait. Don't think you need index of. The first for loop will start at the A in alien, then take A that goes through the entire second array. Sultanas, or Mac Gaming, so A will go through LINE. Sultanas will index of would be in place of one of the for loops. Mac Gaming will actually need to use the second array as the search library. Okay, so we're going to have to be splitting it into an array of sorts anyways, and then digging through it regardless, whether it's the via index of method or a second for loop. Index of and last index. Brave New World, blah, 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 case sensitive. Index of and case sensitivity. The following examples are blah. Variables contain the same string, except the second string contains uppercase. The first console log displays 19, but because index of method is case sensitive, string cheddar is not found. Well, that's not cool. You know what? If it were case insensitive, I think it might be more beneficial. Because if that's the case, we probably will just end up doing 2 for loops. Use index of to count occurrences of a letter in a string. Sure, you could count how many E's are in a sentence. Who doesn't want to know that? To be or not to be, that is the question. Count. Set at 0. We're indexing of. Yeah, that's a lot of noise. Okay, we're good. We're golden. Go time. We did target. String.length. Maybe it wasn't confirm the ending. Oh well. For loop. Go time. Let's spool it. Do we actually need to split it? I don't think we do. We have our array, and we're comparing the first string to the second string. We're making sure all the letters of the second string match up with the first one. I guess we still could use index of if we do lowercase for everything. I guess, you know, like array dot, it's a long one and it looks stupid. Array to lowercase, I believe that's what it is for JavaScript. Or uppercase everything, but I think 2 lowercase would be probably the way to go. And I guess if we lowercase everything out of the gates, we don't have to worry about case from here on. Should we make it a variable, though? Sultanas. Well, index of would be in place of one of the for loops. Mac Gaming will actually need to use second array as the search library, and the search is for that letter that's in the first array. Sultanas, 2 different approaches. Mac Gaming, indeed, there are a lot of ways you can do this. You can easily make it non-case sensitive. Just make it into a string and use 2 upper or 2 lower. Sultanas, I believe the user story states that it's case insensitive. Kenso Dev, the mic position makes you look like a pirate. I totally think that too. I haven't really discussed at length that particular point. But yeah, it's right. There we go. I moved to OBS. Yarg. Steven the pirate. See, it's right there. But yeah, it's due to the desk and mic and webcam setup and just a bunch of other noise. But yeah, we're just coding on the high seas. We're not on the high seas. We're just in our room. What are we looking for? Right, we were thinking through how to go about this. So yeah, case insensitive. We've got our array. Let's just lower variable something variable death. I always struggle with coming up with variable names. Shouldn't matter. We'll just call it lower in the meantime. String lower? Array lower. Just lower. Just lower. Big life decisions. What to name your variables. Keeps me up at night. Then we can rifle through it. Should we split it? We could split... No, the whole array is lowercase. Will that actually work? That'll work. That'll be fine. Return lower. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Return lower 0. Figured it would have done, so array. We're going to have to lowercase everything in the for loop. That's what we're going to have to do. Let's reset. Let's set up our for loop. Just take it from the top. For variable I equals 0 semicolon little kitty. What's our next thing that we're doing? I can hear you sucking on your toes. Could you clean your paws a little less quieter? Little less quiet? No, a little more quietly. That one. That's the right phrase. I less than array death. First of all, we need to split the array before we go rifling through it, you know? Let's do 2 variables. We'll call it string. Is it wrong to use numbers in your variable names, like string 1? Actually, I guess string 0 would be more accurate. Would that be wrong? I don't think it's wrong. String 1 would be array 0. And then variable would be string 2, although string 1 equals array 1. Then we can loop through this noise. The length of string 0 or 1, which one should we do? Let me go through the chat. What's happening? Line through, mic position, pirate, kid, middle-aged programmer. This will not work. Of course it won't work. This is the falling on our face portion of the stream, which is like 99% of the stream, and then only in the very end Will I possibly end up with the right answer? First to lowercase, first to lowercase is a method, so it needs the parentheses. Right, totally forgot about that. Also, you can't do an array to lowercase, you need to map it and call the string to lowercase. Also noted. Matt Gaming, it's also a string method on an array method, not an array method. You don't need to split it. You could just use array 0 and array 1. Hey, look at that. See, we stumbled our way there. There will also be only a 0 index and a 1 index, or you can do that, I guess. But it's just going to be string 0, string 1, because that's the one you're checking. Okay. So it seems like I've kind of bounced back down the path, heading in the right direction. What are we looking for, though? String. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to loop through first. We need to loop through the second one. What did they say? Return true if the string in the first element of the array contains all the letters of the second string element in the array. For example, hello and hello, that'd be true because all of the second string is present in the first. I feel like we should loop through the second one first. The arguments, hello and hey, we are looping through hey to see if it matches up with hello first. I guess in the end it doesn't matter if 0 matches up with 1 or 1 matches up with 2. But this is the main part. Lastly, see, it falls apart. The second one falls apart because hey, the Y in hey isn't in hello. But lastly, alien line does return true because line is contained within alien. At least all those letters are. I think we should go through the second one first. That's what I'm thinking. So string... Actually, we don't need to do string dot one. We can just do string 1 dot length. And then I feel like that's the closest to this one, is going through line, and then I guess we could do index of for alien, something like that. Let's get some curly braces going on. Yeah, getting curly. And then do we return from here? I don't know. Well, let's not worry about the return issue yet. What are we actually going to be doing? We're going to be verifying, and I think this is where the index of comes into play. I know we could do another for loop, but I feel like index of may be... Oh, but index of isn't case insensitive. You know what? That's what we're doing up here. That's what we're doing up here. Hold on. Hold the phone. Can I do 2 lowercase down here on these 2 lowercase? Or this is the whole array method versus string method stuff. I feel like this is going to be met with failure, frustration, and rage. It doesn't feel good as I'm typing it, which probably is a sign that it's a bad idea. Yeah, definitely not. No. I sense fear and frustration. Yeah, bad times, bad times. Let's go ahead and back out of this. Back out of that. Okay, Sultanas, loop through the second as it will always be shorter. Good tip, Sultanas. Glad to see that we guessed right. Matt Gaming, this is interesting. Okay, you can't do that because it's a string method. Gotcha. My spidey senses were tingling for a reason. Good to know. Sultanas, they are strings. Wait, they are strings, though, Matt. Oh, yeah, you can. My bad. Wasn't paying attention. Thought I was doing at lower again. No. Okay, see? Good. We only made it halfway through before we turned back. Good times. Awesome. So that means string one dot length will be fine. So that's nice and stringy. And let's start to chop things up. We're going to go through all of the second string, although it's string 1. We've got string 0 as our first. So if we're looking through all of string 1, we want to compare. What are we doing? I guess. Do I need an if statement? Maybe I do need an if statement. Maybe I don't need an if statement. No. I don't need. Maybe I need an if statement and a second for loop, but in my mind as of now, the way I'd like to see it play out, I don't think it will work, but the way my mind is currently envisioning it would be is for each letter in string 1, have string 1 I equivalent or equal or something like that. Maybe this is where the index comes in to string 0 dot, or not dot, dot index of bed. I know this isn't going to work, but eventually something like that. I know I need to compare it to something. This is why I think I need to have an if statement. And I also feel like if I'm going to be comparing it to each letter, I know I don't have to go through each letter, but I could do a second for loop as well. I've reached a fork in the road, and I'm not prepared for any of the options to head down. So let's try. How did index of function again? We're looking for the stuff in E. Whale returns. See, I like the whale one. This is our string. So string 0, index of string 1, start at 0? Yeah, I guess. Why does this return 0? That's what I want to know. Why does blue just return nothing from blue whale? Versus whale, when you start at 5, or at 0, returns 5. When you also start at 5, it returns the whole thing, and that's cool. But when you start at 7, it returns -1. I feel like I'm reading it wrong. Weird. Maybe we should just do a more basic for loop breakdown. Sultanis, have a look at your problem and decide what the outcomes are. Maybe we do have multiple outcomes. Maybe we end up doing an if, else statement. For example, hello should return true. Yeah, let's get iffy. Let's do this. Go time. Good call, Sultanis. if blank equals blank, return true. Because all the letters are blank. Maybe I jumped the gun, probably a bit early, but I'm okay with that. Return Sultanis. He didn't really look at it at all. Okay, there was a heavy skimming from the top. Slowly. Let it permeate. Return true. If, that feels like an if statement, if the string in the first element of the array contains all the letters of the string in the second element. So if the first string is holding all the letters of the second phrase, that's true, this is full of lies. For example, hello, hello should return true because all the letters in the second string are presented in the first string, ignoring the case. If string, let me just write out this case conditionally just so I can kind of visualize it. If 1, 2, and 3, if string 0, which is already lowercase, is equivalent, I want to do 2, but I feel like 3 is the way to go again. String 1, if all the letters match up, then that should be fine. If the arguments hello and hey should return false because hello doesn't contain y. So we're going through letter by letter in the second string. H is there in hello, E is there in hello, then we get to Y. If string I does not equal, is that weird? Well, we aren't checking if it's false. I mean, it's both. That's just a quick way. If it ever returns false, it knows not to run it. Now, if it does equal, I can't figure out if we want it to equal or not want it to equal. The arguments containing blank 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 should return false because the string hello doesn't contain a y. If it doesn't equal string 1I doesn't equal string 0 index? And for the way index works, I'm not even sure if that's actually needed. I feel like string index could also be... Don't mind the weird hyphens. I guess string 0 dot index could be run with string 1 as what it's searching for from 0. So I don't know whether I stick with the left side or the right side. One of those. And then for the last one, lastly, alien line should return true because all the letters in line are present in alien. If same song and dance. Maybe we only need two. Maybe we only need 2 of those and not 3. What's happening? My bad. Have a look at your problem, decide what the outcome is. Sultanas didn't really look at it all. As soon as you mention true or false, there are only 2 outcomes. Matt Gaming, you're overthinking it again. Yes, yeah, it's a problem. It's brutal. The curse of overthinking. So if we're looking through line by line, we're checking if it has all of them. Index of? I feel like it's just this one. I feel like it's this and basically nothing else. If string 0 is equal to that, or else, if string equals that, return true. That's kind of self-fulfilling because it either matches up or it doesn't. This would also fall into this. You know, if string 1 does equal 0, you could just have an if statement with this alone. So I don't even think we need this first one. I just don't know if I have the index for that set up properly. So let's go ahead and take that, cut, and put that in our for loop. String 1, I think it would be, I don't know if it's just string 1 or string 1I. Cut it. We don't need the if. String blank 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 blank. We don't need the parentheses. Is that a thing? And then a return. Well, what are we returning? True? Otherwise false? If blank blank blank. If blank 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 returns something. Bad times. Sultanas. No, wait, Matt Gaming. You're overthinking it again. Sultanas, what is the condition for true and what is the condition for false? You're missing an entire for loop. I should have kept my if loop, or my if else. Okay, so for all of those, if blank 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 turn true, else return false. Wait a second. Hold on. Returning inside a for loop is bad, right? My only question is if it's inside, if you have an if inside of a, no, if you have a return inside of an if statement, does that still count as having it inside a for loop? I think it does. because it's going to go through, it's going to loop through each of these, and every time it's looking for something, string 0 index not found. Super death. Returning will just return. Damn. Alright, hold on. Clearly I'm doing something wrong. I should Google mutations, but I feel like I'm inching my way there, slowly getting closer. Hey and hello. We have one array, and I want to loop through it, and I want to compare it to another one. I have one loop. The first one is string 1, and that's using eyes. I want to compare it to another loop, but for me to compare it, I need the second for loop, which means I don't need to use index of. For copy. For variable something or other. For j and 0 and j if hold on, but I need to compare it to all. Maybe I don't need to loop through the whole second word. Maybe I'm only looping through each character of the second string. I'm only looping through each character of the second string. But I'm comparing it to the entirety of this, which is where supposedly index of comes in handy. I don't know, I guess in my mind, minusing the for loop, if I were to do the if statement differently, I guess it would be... There is a lot of guessing. I don't know. Death. I guess. String 1 equals... string 0. And just have it empty. If that were true, return true. Else well, we can't it's not return true, it's just true. So what do we call it? We call it a variable. We check the thing. Status mutation. Mutation equals true. We could do that. We can set up another variable called mutation. Variable copy Oh, mutation singular is the function. Well, we'll just leave it mutations. Or mute. We'll call it mute. Variable mute equals, it's just a Boolean operator, right? Do we have to place anything? I was gonna do copy mute equals true, and then mute equals false. Or is that crazy talk? That's probably crazy talk. Why is that falling apart? Something is deeply wrong with, like, all of this. Missing an entire root. Sultanas, the index of is a replacement for the second for loop. It does what you do in the second. It does what you do in the second for loop. Okay. So there is no need for that guy. So my concern is that if I'm doing incrementing by 1, is that it's going to check 0 for alien, and it's going to check 0 for line, and it's just going to fall all apart from there. Or is it going to take the time to check L against all the letters first, and then go to I, and then check all the letters again, and then go to N, and then check all the letters, and then go to E, and then check all the letters? Because if that's the case, then I would just keep the 2 for loops, and do string I equals string J, and call it quits, and not have any of this other nonsense. Damn. Hold on. Don't mind me. Tiny crisis. Think amongst yourselves. Alright, we're back. We've got a cat that is steadily one of the other 3, well, not other 3, but one of the 3 cats, unfortunately, is steadily declining in its health. So we have to, like, constantly check on him. He needed water, which I probably should feed him soon, but he needs drugs. A pill every 8 hours. That's right, 3 pills a day, once every 8 hours. That's just one of them. There's another 2 other medications, so yeah, anywho. Fortunately, the tiny white cat, she's young and healthy. It's this older black and white one, and it's just decrepit is a nice way to put it. So what are we doing? We are stuck. We are stuck in confusion. Let's get rid of one if loop because our thinking has just spread everywhere. Let's also get rid of the other noise here. That was a thing. No, 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 no. There we go. What do we have here? I don't know if we actually need another variable. We'll comment that out for now. Tiny cat. Alright, well, will you block the screen? Oh my god, that's Tiny Cat typing. I'm gonna let her do her thing. It's not like my code was any better. We'll even run it with her inputs. Run test. Yeah, something terrible. Beautiful. Okay, so you're missing an entire for loop. Returning will just return Sultanas. The index of is a replacement for the second for loop. It does what you do in the second for loop. Mac Gaming for when you get completely stuck, which I think we passed about 25 minutes ago. Mac Gaming, you have way too much going on. Completely understand index of. Yeah, right now, index of, it seems awful, in my opinion. I'm sure it does some cool shit, but we've got our string, Brave New World. Following example, use index of and last index of to locate values in the string, Brave New World. So that's what we've got. That can be string 0 or 1. Console log. Index of the first W from the beginning. Index of W. It's logging 8. The index of the first W, Brave New World. And it's looking for the W in Brave New World. It's returning the 8th character. Okay. Last index of W. Now it's looking for the last W. Now it's 10. How the... What is that? What is that? No. There's only one W in this nightmare. Oh, there's new. Wow, I'm crazy. So the cat needs food and I need food. That's what's happening. This is 8. The space is 9. The last W, which there in fact is a last W, my bad, is 10. Alright, now that we've confirmed yet again that Steven is the crazy person, I'm the issue with the code not working. Now we're looking for new. The index of new from the beginning is 6. It starts with N, and that's a 6. We've got 0, blah, 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 and 6. Cool. Same song and dance. If we look for new with last of, it will return the location again of where it's found. Fine. What about case sensitivity? We don't need to worry about case sensitivity. We've made them all lowercase. And you can find discrepancies based off that because one will log another thing, one will log another. Cool. Index of count occurrence. So it's if it finds it. We don't care that it's counting or doing anything with it. This is merely just to verify. Sultanas, never used code share before. That's pretty cool. W3. Google W3 JavaScript index. Okay. Okay. W3 JS index of everything hurts Everything hurts. Everything is terrible. Everything hurts. JavaScript string of index method. Hello world, welcome to the universe. String index of welcome. Define usage. The index of method returns the position of the first occurrence of a specified value in a string. If we were going through a for loop with a single number, it would spit out where it finds it. Cool. This method returns a -1 if the value to search for never occurs. Return false if it returns -1. Alright. So blankety blankety blank. Search value and where it's starting. So our string, it's going to search for that. String I. Get rid of the second for loop. String 0. Index of string I. And we'll start at 0. That will work. The second for loop can die. We don't need the extra noise. We don't even need... I don't know if the if is necessary, but ideally, at some point, whether it goes in the if loop or not, we will have something. Let's get rid of that. Okay. String 0 is lowercase. String 1 is lowercase. For loop, we're taking string 1. I think we can keep our if statement. Inside, we will be comparing Mac Gaming, Google Blank, read the line carefully. This method returns -1 if the value to search never occurs. Yeah, we saw that here, and that would be handy for returning false. I'm just trying to piece together how I would do that. Blankety blankety blank. If also string 0, that's my issue. String 0 dot index. Look for string I, string 1I, starting from 0. And if it does that, it will return true, else it will do something. It will do something else. All right. Okay, so what am I looking at? Something about returning. There's going to be a true, returning true, or returning false, and then also returning false. Somehow there's a -1 involved, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Google blank Read the line. This method returns a -1 if the value to search never occurs. Maybe that's what's happening here. If blank blah 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 0 equals -1, that's weird, excessive, and stupid. We won't do that. But I was just trying to think outside the box. That's definitely not needed. We will get rid of that, but don't mind me. Wait, hold on. I see comments. Let me keep reading. If index of blah blah blah. Wait. Read the line carefully. You do need an if. Okay, Matt Gaming. You do need an if. Matt Gaming. If index of blah 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 equals -1. So that is a thing. That's what's happening. Return false because it never occurred. No, it is index of. Oh, index of. I'm falling apart. Why? Why am I so crazy? Oh, God. Sultanis and Matt, you guys deserve a medal or a cookie or digital high five. Okay, Matt Gaming, blah, blah, blah. We were on the right path. Return false because it never occurred. Yeah, well, we'll get there. That should end up being the F. Return false because it never occurred. No, it's index of. Other than that, you're good. You're so close. If string 0 dot index of string 1I, get a little space there, starting at 0, so it's going to start at the 0 index of string 0, so the beginning of string 0, and then it's going to go through letter by letter of string 1, string I via the for loop, and it's going to compare that, and if it ever receives a -1, as in if it didn't find anything, it returns a -1. If it doesn't receive anything, it will return false. Else, return true. So cool. All right. Good. Which means we don't need our stupid new variable. Wait, do I need our stupid new variable? No, I don't need our stupid new variable. Wait. I'm still returning inside an if statement inside of a for loop. Maybe I do want my dumb variable. Maybe variable, what is that? How do I set up a variable to be a Boolean? To store a Boolean value. Oh wait. Equals Matt Gaming. That's correct. You got it. And you want to return false because if it equals never means it never occurred, you can just return false. Now you're getting it. You can return inside of an if statement. Returns will not out of the entire function. So, oh, cool. Okay, so the dumb extra variable can be destroyed. We've got our if statement. We don't need return down here. We could just delete it, but we won't. Give it a little space. Alright, so what the hell? I think we've got everything. We could just run result to check first, but I want to make sure. Function mutation. We receive our array. Hello and hey. String 0, string 1. Variable string 0. equals array 0, 2 lowercase. String 1, array 1, 2 lowercase. Both of these have been lowered. Case problem solved. For loop. I for string 1 dot length. String 1 is getting hella loopy. We've got our if statement. String 0. We're going to be indexing of string I, letter by letter, for string 1, starting at the 0 index. If it ever misses, it will spit out a -1. That's why we're comparing it to that, and if it does, it will return false. Otherwise, fingers crossed, business as usual, it will return true. I think we're in the clear. We're going to run it. Ta-da! Super true. However, one skated by. The mutation. Hey should return false. How did it get past this, but it couldn't get past hey? Marry an army. Oh, that's cool. Double A's. There's 5 letters in that for a 4-letter word, but A happens in that. That's very cool. All right. Line and alien. 4. Neo and hello. So that returned false. Voodoo and no also returned false. Okay. Try right. Don't do else return. Return true where your return, okay, outside of it. So this part dies. Death to the else. Yeah, we could have just highlighted that and deleted it, but hammering on the keyboard just, it was needed. True. Yes, good. Run test. Ta-da! You're a shooting star. Wrong. Matt Gaming and Sultanis are shooting stars. That's what's happening. Way cool. Wow. That was brutal. I totally thought our binary challenge at CODEWARS today was going to be the hard part. Who knew that I would have figured out the binary thing all by my lonesome? But simply checking the mutation challenge at freeCodeCamp would have been the nightmare. Wow. Super death. Alright. Let's close out of that. Let's see. Look at that. Success. Ta-da. D. Good times. Way cool. Alright. 244 items completed. What do we have on the horizon for tomorrow? Falsy Bouncer. That will be day 221. In the meantime, we've conquered our activity at CODEWARS today. We survived our challenge here at freeCodeCamp due to large amounts of help from Sultanis and Matt Gaming, which was deeply appreciated. What else do we have here? Let's go ahead and back out to OBS. Alright, good times. Way cool. Matt Gaming. Now you're getting... Oh, there was more. There was actually quite a bit more. You can return inside of an if statement. Returns will return out of the entire function. So you're good. Try running it. Don't do else return. Return true where your return array is. You did really good. You figured out index of. Yes, another tool down that we can add to our box of confusion. You almost did the whole thing yourself with a little help. Ha! You're too kind. You guys were instrumental in today's success, surviving freeCodeCamp. Alright. Well, we are in OBS. We will be stopping the stream. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to either view the stream or assist. Today we had Matt Gaming, Sultanis, Kenzo Dev, and who else? Anyone else? Those were the main people for today. Again, if you accidentally stumbled into the stream, thank you very much. Any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we are backing out. Stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!